Welcome back to our special coverage of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Let's now cross to Abuja, where the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, is standing by to read the MPC's considerations and decisions.
Distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, the Monetary Policy Committee held its first statutory meeting of fiscal year 2017 on 23rd and 24th of January 2017, against the backdrop of increased uncertainty arising from political and economic developments around the world. Over the last few weeks, the pillars of the world order, the free trade, multilateralism, and globalization have come under intense pressure and seemingly giving way to an era of enlightened national interests in the conduct of international economic relations. On the domestic front, the economy remains in recession and inflationary pressures are yet to dissipate. Both external and domestic conditions have blended to significantly complicate the policy environment. In attendance at the meeting were 10 members of the committee. The committee reviewed the global and domestic economic and financial environment in 2016 and the outlook for the short to medium term in 2017. The uncertainty in the external environment persisted owing to a combination of recent political and economic developments. The key issues include Brexit, the rising wave of populist and anti-globalization sentiments, anchored by emerging bilateralism, divergent monetary policy stance of the advanced central banks, and disorderly commodity price movements. With global output growth improving sluggishly, the outlook for 2017 remains unchanged, owing to persisting uncertainties in commodity prices and volatility in financial markets, as well as slowing demand in the advanced economies and the emerging markets. The MPC welcomed the modest increase in oil prices following the last OPEC decision to cut output, and noted the increase in the policy rate of the United States Fed in December 2016 and the potential implications of that decision for international interest rates and capital flows. While noting the materiality of the output cut on oil prices, committee cautioned that the effect could rapidly wane given a likelihood of a supply glut from non-OPEC members, low level of global economic activity, and weak growth. Emerging markets and developing economies in particular have continued to confront strong headwinds such as low commodity prices, rising inflation, currency instability, intractable low aggregate demand, and subdued capital flows. Overall, the committee noted that whereas improved commodity prices may provide modest tailwinds for resource-dependent economies in 2017, the medium-term outlook continues to be muffled by stagnation and uncertainty in the prospects for global trade, subdued investments, and heightened policy uncertainty, especially in some major economies. Nevertheless, the IMF estimates that these constraints will decline, paving way for mild improvements in economic growth from 3.1% in 2016 to 3.4% in 2017. Global inflation commenced a moderate but steady rise on the backdrop of improvements in oil prices and currency depreciation in several emerging markets. However, amongst the major advanced economies, only the US Fed has commenced policy tightening, while the Bank of Japan, the Bank of England, and the European Central Bank all retained their accommodative policy stance at their most recent meetings. Domestic output development. Data released by the National Bureau of Statistics in November 2016 showed that the economy contracted further by 2.24% during the third quarter of 2016, having slipped into recession following another contraction in output during the second quarter of 2016. Although the overall contraction during the third quarter was greater than was observed during the first and second quarter, the non-oil sector grew by 0.03% during the third quarter, driven mainly by agriculture, which grew by 4.54%. The committee is of the view that the key undercurrents, that is scarcity of foreign exchange, low fiscal activity, high energy prices, and the accumulation of salary arrears cannot be directly ameliorated by monetary policy actions. The committee hopes that the recent increase in oil prices will be complemented by production gains to provide the needed tailwinds to sustainable economic activity. In that regard, the committee recommends the commitment of the fiscal authorities to step up efforts to fill the aggregate demand gap through a speedy resolution of the domestic indebtedness of the federal government to states and local contractors. The committee believes that doing so will aid the efforts towards economic recovery. Development in money and prices. Committee noted that money supply grew by 19.02% in 2016, being 8% points higher than its programmed limit. It underscored the necessity of keeping the economy adequately lubricated in the face of declining output. Growth in the net domestic credit was 24.79% at the end of December 2016, being 17.94% above its provisional benchmark for 2016. Likewise, growth in the net credit to government at 58.84% surpassed its program target of 47.4%. In effect, all the major monetary aggregates exceeded their program provisional benchmarks for the fiscal year of 2016. Headline inflation year-on-year continued to rise, creeping up in December 2016 to 18.55% from 18.48% in November and 18.33% in October, thus sustaining the upward momentum since January 2016. The increase in headline inflation in December 2016 was driven by increase in the food component, which inched up from 17.19% in November to 17.39% in December. Core inflation, on the other hand, moderated slightly to 18.05% in December 2016 from 18.24% in November. Committee observed the increases in the month-on-month inflation rate in November and December, in contrast to successive declines between June and September of 2016. It noted that the structural factors driving the sustained pressure on consumer prices, such as the high cost of power and energy, transport, production factors, as well as rising prices of imports, are yet to abate. Nonetheless, the committee estimates that the current policy stance and other measures directed at improving food production would combine with base effects to usher in some moderation in consumer prices in the short to medium term. Money market interest rates fluctuated in tandem with the level of liquidity in the banking system. Thus, average interbank call rate, which stood at 15.34% on 21st of November 2016, closed at 9.90% in December 30th of 2016. Between these periods, the interbank call rate averaged 13.59%. The average interbank call rate, however, fell to 3% on December 9, 2016, due to an increase in net banking sector liquidity to 495.48 billion naira on December 8, 2016, following the payment of statutory revenue to state and local governments, as well as maturity of Central Bank of Nigeria bills during the period. Committee welcomed improvements in the equities segment of the capital market as the all-share index rose by 2.84% from 25,499 on November 21, 2016 to 26,223.54 on January 20, 2016. Similarly, market capitalization increased by 2.5% from 8.8 trillion naira to 9.02 trillion naira during the same period. Relative to end of December 2016, the capital market indices, however, fell by 2.04 and 2.05% respectively, reflecting the challenges confronting the economy. Total foreign exchange inflows through the central bank increased significantly by 82.45% in December 2016, owing mainly to the increase in oil prices. Total outflows, however, spiked during the same period. The committee noted that the average naira exchange rate remained stable at the interbank segment of the foreign exchange market during the review period. Overall outlook and the risks. The medium-term outlook based on available data and forecasts of key economic variables indicate a more resilient economy in 2017. Growth is expected to turn positive in the year 2017 as prior policy lags converge and the fiscal space becomes more accommodative. In addition, the agricultural sector is expected to play a more significant role in driving growth, given the expansion of the Anchor Grower program, as well as other developmental initiatives of the government. Likewise, the prospects for moderation of price developments appear to be strengthening on the heels of positive developments in the food subsector. The committee identified the downside risks to this outlook to include the possibility of slower than expected rate of global economic activity, fluctuating oil prices, and production shut-ins due to vandalism of oil installations. The summary of considerations. The committee reassessed the headwinds which confronted the economy in 2016 and the opportunities for recovery in 2017. In particular, the MPC evaluated the implications of the rising wave of nationalistic ideologues across the West and the cancellation and re-evaluation of trade agreements, as well as the possibility of rapid monetary policy normalization in the United States with adverse consequences for other countries, including Nigeria. The uncertainties underpinning the implementation of Brexit and the apparent retreat from globalization and free trade were also important points of reflection at this meeting. In recognition of the seemingly inevitable structural shifts in the global economy, the committee reiterated the need to be more inward-looking and hasten efforts towards economic diversification to support the domestic economy and improve improved life for the masses in Nigeria. Consequently, members acknowledge the imperative of sectorial policies and greater coordination of monetary and fiscal policy. Conscious of the prevailing market sentiments in favor of a rate cut, the committee reasoned that most of its decisions in 2016 were informed by the need to address the delicate balance between price stability and growth. Noting that the pressures on consumer prices were yet to abate, And even as the economy continued to be in recession despite the intervention support by the central bank, the committee stressed that it was not oblivious of the full ramifications of the economic challenges facing the country. The MPC was concerned that the current situation was not amenable to simplistic analysis and quick fixes, such as have found expression and increased attention at different fora and the media. The domestic economic challenges, which include a chronically import-dependent consumption culture, lack of competitiveness of many sectors of the economy, and yawning infrastructural gap, have combined with an unfavorable external environment to complicate the macroeconomic policy environment. The Monetary Policy Authority had on many occasions, and to the extent feasible, taken extraordinary steps to support other policies, as well as compensate for aspects of structural gaps in the economy, even at the expense of its core mandate. The committee specifically noted the positive contribution of agriculture to GDP in the third quarter, mostly attributable to the bank's interventions in the sector. The committee hopes that, given the thrust of the 2017 budget and accompanying sectoral policies, output growth should resume in the short to medium term. The MPC therefore lends its voice to efforts for an early finalization of the 2017 federal budget by the authorities concerned, and the resolve to pursue a non-oil-driven economy, as this will go a long way in stimulating aggregate demand and restoring confidence in the economy. The committee also urged the authorities to seriously consider using the public-private partnership model in its infrastructure program as a means of cushioning any possible shocks to budgeted revenue. Committee further noted that inflationary pressures will begin to subside as non-oil output recovers and naira exchange rate stabilizes. Until then, it stressed, a rate cut would worsen the inflationary conditions, stunt growth, and undermine the current outlook for stability in the foreign exchange market. The committee also feels that doing so would further aggravate demand pressures while undermining existing income levels in the face of the already expansionary monetary policy and increasing inflationary pressures, which will make the economy unattractive for foreign and domestic investment. Given these limitations, the committee was reluctant to lower the policy rate on this occasion, but remained committed to doing so when the conditions permit. From a financial stability standpoint, the committee noted the possible impact of the inclement macroeconomic environment on banking sector resilience. The MPC urged management of the bank to engage industry operators to discuss likely issues of assets quality, credit concentration, and high foreign exchange exposures. Given the growth in money supply arising from unconventional monetary policy operations of the bank and the implications for price and exchange rate developments, the committee is committed to moderating growth in narrow money in the year 2017 in line with the bank's monetary growth benchmarks. Decisions. The committee, in consideration of the headwinds in the domestic economy, in the uncertainties in the global environment, decided by a unanimous vote to retain the MPR at 14% alongside all other policy parameters. In summary, MPC decided to 1. Retain MPR at 14%, retain the CRR at 22.5%, retain the liquidity ratio at 30%, and retain the asymmetric corridor at plus 200 and minus 500 basis points around the MPR. Thank you for listening.